तमेव लोकशङ्करं नमामि शङ्करं गुरुं नमामि शङ्करं गुरुं नमामि शङ्करं गुरुं
विद्या मुद्राक्षमालामृतकलशकरा कोटिसूर्यप्रकाश जाया पद्मोद्भवस्य प्रणतजनततेः सर्वमिष्टं दिशन्ति इन्द्रोपेन्द्रादिवन्द्या त्रिभुवनजननी वाक्सवित्री शरण्या सेयं श्रीशारदाम्बा सकलसुखकरी मङ्गलानि प्रदद्यात् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. With namaskaras to the Padapadmas of the Ubhaya Jagadgurus. In the last few episodes, we have discussed how this kshetra, this Punya Kshetra of Sringeri attained its purity and sanctity. As part of that, we discussed the Sanatana Parampara starting from Parameshwara with Bhagavad Pada and the Jagadguru Parampara that continues to this day. We have discussed the story of how the Tunga Nadi came into being, springing from the tusks of Adivaraha. We have also discussed the great rishis that have performed tapas here, such as Rishyasringa Maharshi and Vibhandaka Maharshi. Today, we will be discussing the Devata that has lent her Paripurna Sanidhya to this Kshetra, Shri Sharadamba. So, when we speak about any Devata, it is meet that we first speak about the Sthala Purana, how the Devata came to be in this place. So, if we look at that in regards to Sharadamba, as we all know, Bhagavad Pada did Pratishtha of Sharadamba here himself in Kali Yuga, in the beginning of Kali Yuga. When Avaidika Matas were rampant, when the Veda Mata itself was steeped in internal conflict, when the true purport of the Vedas was lost to the populace, at that juncture, Parameshwara himself incarnated as Jagadguru Srimad Adishankara Bhagavad Padacharya in order to spread Brahma Vidya amongst the masses and to ensure that the Vaidika Dharma was protected and to quell the intensity and the spread of the Nastika Matas. As part of that, first, Brahma took birth as Mandana Mishra, and even before that, Kartikeya, Kumaraswamy, took birth as Kumarila Bhatta. So, when Brahma took birth as Mandana Mishra, Saraswati Devi took birth as Ubhaya Bharati. In the Purvakala, earlier, in the Brahma Sabha, when Durvaso Maharshi was doing Vedaparayana, one swara was pronounced by that Maharshi in an erroneous manner. Having seen that, having heard that, Saraswati Devi gave a slight smile. Having seen Devi laughing, the Muni became enraged and gave a shapa to Devi that she would be born as a human on earth. So as per the shapa of that Maharshi, this story comes in the Madhavya Shankara Digvijaya. So we will tell this story in detail when we talk about the Shankara Digvijaya itself. So when Devi was born in this manner in Bhuloka, she married Mandana Mishra, the embodiment of Brahma, and became known as Ubhaya Bharati due to her prowess in all fields of learning. Because she is Sharada, even as a human, she excelled in all fields of learning and became renowned as Ubhaya Bharati. So then, in due course of time, Bhagavad Pada came to Mahishmati, debated with Mandana Mishra, defeated him, and Mandana Mishra became Sureshwaracharya and sought refuge in Bhagavad Pada. In that juncture, Devi was ready to leave her human body and go back to Brahmaloka. But Bhagavad Pada bound her with the means of the Vanadurga mantra and requested that she stay wherever he would install her in his pithas. Devi agreed, and when Bhagavad Pada came to this Sringeri Kshetra, Bhagavad Pada decided that the first and foremost of his 4 Amnaya pithas should be established here, and as such, that the Devata of Brahma Vidya, because this pitha is meant to preserve Jnana, meant to preserve Vaidika Dharma and Brahma Vidya, Jnana, Therefore, the Adhidevata of Brahmajnana should also be present here. With this in mind, Bhagavatpada installed Sharada Devi here. Bhagavatpada himself drew a Sri Chakra, wrote out the Bijaksharas, and installed Devi on top of that Sri Chakra. That is why the Devata here is worshipped as Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswatyatmika, Sharadamba. And besides some special occasions such as Vasanta Panchami, where she is worshipped as only Saraswati, in all other occasions, in most occasions, Devi is worshipped as Parameshwari, the Adishakti, the embodiment of Lakshmi, Parvati, and Saraswati. This is so that all bhaktas that come here will be graced. As you see in Gita, bhaktas are categorized into 4 divisions. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna arto jignasur artharthi jnani cha bharatarashabha. So Bhagavan in Gita classifies all bhaktas into 4 categories. Some are arthas, artha bhaktas. These people have some trouble, they have some calamity that has befallen them, and in order to get rid of that, they seek refuge in Bhagavan. In the same way, Jignasu, some people seek to learn something, they seek to know something. Those people are Jignasu bhaktas, so they seek Bhagavan to know something. Artharthe, some people want something, they want money, they want prosperity, they want some affluence. So in order to obtain that, they seek refuge in Bhagavan. And the last is Jnani. The Jnani does not want anything from Bhagavan, but the Jnani realizes that his Atma is the same as Paramatma. There is no difference between himself and Bhagavan. And he sees Bhagavan as his Atma Swarupa and exists reveling in that Ananda. So these 4 bhaktas all seek refuge in Bhagavan. It is Devi who, as Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswatyatmika, who graces all these bhaktas. As Mahakali, who is Shatru Samharini, she removes all the troubles that bhaktas have. She removes the Shatrubadha that bhaktas may have. As Mahalakshmi, she graces the Artharthi bhaktas by giving them the prosperity that they desire. As Saraswati, Mahasaraswati, she graces the Jignasu bhaktas by giving them the knowledge that they desire. And as Paramatma Swarupini, as Parabrahma Swarupini, she is the Atma of the Jnana bhaktas. So the Devata that is here is Sharadamba. And that is why we have the shloka in Shankara Digvijaya, Ya Sharadambetyabhidham vahanti, Kritam pratignyam paripalayanti, Adyapi Shringeri Pure vasanti, Pradyotate Abhishtavaran dishanti. That Parabrahma Swarupini that bears the name Sharada, Ya Sharadambetyabhidham vahanti, because it is one Paramatma that takes upon many names and many forms. In one place he is Venkateshwara, in one place he is Guru Ayurappa, in one place he is Meenakshi, that Paramatma is Meenakshi, in another place that Paramatma is Annapurna, in one place that Paramatma is Nataraja, in another place that Paramatma is Arunachaleshwara. In that same way, here that Paramatma takes upon the name Sharada, that Parashakti takes upon the name Sharada. Ya Sharadambetyabhidham vahanti, Kritam pratignyam paripalayanti. She is upholding the promise made to Bhagavatpada those centuries ago, that I will reside wherever you install me for all time to come, for generations to come. Adyapi, that is why Adyapi Shrungeri Pure Vasanti, to this day she resides in this Shrungeri Pura, Pradyotate, she shines, Abhishtavaram Dishanti, gracing devotees with whatever they want. It could be gracing the Artha Bhaktas with the removal of troubles, it could be gracing Artharthi Bhaktas with prosperity, it could be gracing Jignasus with the Jnana that they desire. But she is here, her Paripurna Sanidhya is here, and she is gracing all the devotees that come to her with a pure mind. And that is why we see that Bhagavatpada also has written many stotras on Devi. We can talk about the stotras later, but very popularly the Sharada Bhujanga stotra is there, Sharada Bhujanga Prayata stotra, wherein Bhagavatpada says, Purastrim Vinidram Purastunga Bhadram Bhaje Sharadamba Majasram Madambam. She is the Purastri and she is also Purastunga Bhadram. She has taken up residence on the banks of the Tunga Nadi. So such a Sharadamba I seek refuge in. So in such a Sharadamba I seek refuge. So Bhagavatpada has done stotra of Sharadamba in this way. Now if we look at the Swarupa of the Devata, the form of the Devata is very particular here. we have the shloka of the 33rd Jagadguru Pratasmaraniya, renowned with the name Abhinava Shankara, of Jagadguru Shri Shri Sachidananda Shivananda Subharati Swami. We have a shloka written by that Acharya. Mala Sudha Kumbha Vibodha Mudra Vidya Virajat Kara Varijatam Apara Karunya Sudhamburashim Shri Sharadambam Pranatosmi Nityam. This is a very popular shloka that has great popularity, penned by that Acharya. So in this, the form of Devi has been told. Mala, she is holding in her four hands a mala, an akshamala, a japamala, Sudha Kumbha, an Amrita Kalasha, Vibodha Mudra, a Chin Mudra, Vidya, a Pustaka, Virajat Karavari Jatam. So Devi is holding these four items in her hands. She has a Chandra Rekha on her head, the crescent moon is on her head. She is decked in all abharanas and she is sitting in Padmasana. So such is the form of the Devata here. Why is it that the Devata here is in this form? So we have one name in Lalita Sahasranama, Dakshinamurti Rupini. Devi as Dakshinamurti Rupini is Sharadamba. We have the Devatas are classified into three divisions predominantly in Mantra Shastra: Yoga, Bhoga and Veeramurtis. The Yoga Murtis are meant to give Yoga Siddhi and Jnana. The Bhoga Murtis are meant to give prosperity to their bhaktas. The Veeramurtis are meant to cause removal of troubles and removal of enemies. So the Devatas you can see, for example, Yoga Murtis are Yoga Narasimha, Hayagriva, Dakshina Murti, Saraswati. These are all Yoga Murtis. Then we have Bhoga Murtis, Lakshmi, Annapurna, Lakshmi Narayana, Parvati Parameshwara, Somaskanda. The Murtis like this are designed to cause bhoga. They are designed to give bhaktas things that they desire. And then Veeramurtis, things like Bhairava, Kali, Durga, Ugra Narasimha. These forms are meant to remove troubles of devatas and remove whatever calamities they may face. So in that way, Dakshina Murti is the form of Shiva as a Yoga Murti. So when Shiva wishes to give Jnana, he assumes the form of Dakshina Murti. And what is the form of the Dakshinamurti? The mantra of Medha Dakshinamurti is very predominant, and it is a very important mantra of the Sringeri Jagadguru Parampara. The Medha Dakshinamurti mantra occupies an important sthana in the daily mantra japas of the Jagadgurus. So that Devata, that Medha Dakshinamurti's form is told thus in the Dhyana Shloka: Sphatika Rajata Varnam Moktike Makshamalam Amrita Kalasha Vidya Jnana Mudrah Karagrehi Dadhata Muragakaksham Chandrachodam Trinetram Vidhruta Vividhabhosham Dakshinamurti Mede. This is the Dhyana Shloka of Medha Dakshinamurti. So here also Sphatika Rajata Varnam. He is as white as pearls and as white as pure silver. Moktiki Makshamala. So in one hand he is holding an Akshamala, a Rudrakshamala. Amrita Kalasha, he is holding an Amrita Kalasha in one hand. And then Vidya, he is holding a Pustaka in one hand. Jnana Mudra, he is holding a Jnana Mudra in one hand. And he is also Vidhrita Vividha Bhosham. He is holding all, he is wearing all Abharanas. And Chandra Chodam Trinetram. He has the Chandra Rekha on his head. So as we can see, this form of Dakshinamurti is the exact form of Sharada Devi. The Dakshinamurti Rupa is the same as the Rupa of Sharadamba here, which is why just as Dakshinamurti gives Jnana, Sharada Devi also is here in Sringeri giving us all the Jnana that we seek. And very specifically, we see that Dakshinamurti and Sharada Devi both have the Chin Mudra. This Chin Mudra is a very a mudra that has great purport behind it. That is why in Dakshinamurti Stotra also Bhagavad Pada says, Svatmanam prakate karoti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. That Dakshinamurti reveals his true nature to those that seek him through the mudra, through this one mudra, this one Chin Mudra. So, what is the meaning of this Chin Mudra? These three fingers represent the triads that exist in this samsara. The three gunas, the three kalas, the three shariras, the three avasthas, those are all the triads that are represented by these three fingers. This Angushta represents Paramatma, who is always separate from these three. Paramatma is not touched by this Srishti. And this, the index finger is the Jiva. The Jiva, due to his being bound by Maya, and due to his having moha, is always tied to these three. He is always tied to the trigunas, the three avasthas in the three bodies. The Chinmudra represents the separation of the jiva from samsara and his unity with Ishvara, thereby making him Brahman itself. Where whatever state that Brahman exists in, the jiva also attains that state and becomes bereft of these three, the triads of samsara. So that is represented by the Chinmudra. So that is what Devi is showing all of us in her Chinmudra. So therefore, worship of this Devi, as we have said, will give bhaktas anything that they desire. It could be Vidya, it could be prosperity, it could be Brahmajnana. But predominantly Devi is here to cause us Brahmajnana. That is why Sachidananda Shivabhinava Simhabharati Swami writes in his stotra, in the Kamalajadayita Vidyam Shuddhancha Buddhim Kamalajadayite Sattvaram Dehi Mahyam. That is what the Acharya asks from Sharadamba. I want Shuddha Vidya and Shuddha Buddhi. Shuddha Vidya refers to Brahma Vidya, and Shuddha Buddhi refers to a pure mind, a Shuddha Antahkarana. We want Brahma Vidya, that is the highest goal of human life. But in order to get Jnana, first we need Chitta Shuddhi, we need purity of mind. Only a pure mind can properly grasp the Jnana that will grant us release from samsara. So, it is in order to get that purity that we do karma and Ishvara Upasana. So, if we do Upasana of Devi, this is meant to give us Chitta Shuddhi, and Devi will give us Chitta Shuddhi and also give us Jnana, because she is also Guru Mandala Rupini. Devi takes upon the form of the Devata, she is also the form of the Guru. So as the Devata, she gives us Chitta Shuddhi, as the Guru, she gives us Jnana. That is why the Acharya has written Vidyam Shuddhancha Buddhim, Shuddham Buddhim, Kamalajadayite, Sattvaram Dehi Mahyam. O Kamalajadayita, O beloved of Brahma, Sattvaram, quickly please give me, Dehi Mahyam, please give me Shuddha Vidya and Shuddha Buddhi. So let us all pray to Sharadamba that she also grant us that purity of mind, that Shraddha towards Dharma, and in due course of time Jnana. So thus we have now completely touched all the aspects that have caused Sringeri Kshetra to become exceedingly pure and sanctified. In the coming episodes, we will start talking about the Charitra of Bhagavad Pada and then the Charitra of the Acharyas that have adorned this Pitha. And we can also talk about the stotras that have been written, since we have just spoken about Devi. We can also speak about some stotras that the Acharyas have written on Devi, their purport and their inner meaning. Namah Shankaraya.
Namami Shankaram Guru